Up until this point, Zenless and Wuthering Waves have been relatively butting heads. The two different communities really dislike each other for a number of reasons. I personally find it all to be hilariously stupid. I think Zenless is a fun game. I think Wuthering Waves is a fun game. I really think at the end of the day, we should just be enjoying games that are fun without hating on each respective game, because there are going to be different people that like different games that are going to appeal to different people. But today is the first time that the Zenless and the Wuthering Waves community have come together in unison to hate on something even bigger than each other, and that is Genshin Impact. Now, if this is your first time here, consider taking a moment, subscribing to the channel, hitting that little bell notification. That way you're made up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact players do not like each other, or they at the very least do not like each other's games, and therefore they're always fighting over which game is better. Zenless players believe that their game is the best game out there right now, and you know what? That's not entirely untrue. Zenless to a lot of players is the best game. WuWa to a lot of players is the best game. Genshin to a lot of players is the best game. Now, as of the last few hours, it has been confirmed that both Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero have been nominated for the best mobile game of the year at the Gamescom Awards 2024. This right here, this has infuriated both the Genshin players. And okay, I'll preface this entire thing by saying the majority of Genshin players are perfectly happy with their inclusion in the best mobile game category. The same with Zenless. There are going to be the vast majority of players that don't care about this little like gacha war, but the vocal minority, which is the present majority that you see on social media, are the ones that are at each other's throats. Zenless are claiming that there is no way Genshin is going to win because Genshin is a vastly inferior game to Zenless, and Genshin players are saying that there's no way Zenless could possibly win because Genshin is the best gacha game in the world. And then Wuthering Waves isn't even included here. Neither is like any other gacha game. Even Honkai Star Rail isn't included here. With this in mind, the Wuthering Waves players are chipping in saying, well, you know, both Genshin Impact is terrible, so clearly that can't be a winner. Then the Zenless players are saying the same thing. So you have Zenless and Wuthering Waves coming together for the very first time to face one common adversary, and that is Genshin. And it's hilarious. It genuinely is the funniest bit of drama I have seen on Twitter and Reddit in probably months. What brought Wuthering Waves players and Zenless players together weren't their love of any particular game, weren't their love of action combat. It ultimately ended up being their hate, rather, for Genshin Impact. Both communities hate Genshin with such a burning passion that they just absolutely had to take this opportunity to shit on it. And again, like, this isn't the majority of players. There are probably like 90-something% of players that aren't even aware that either game is going to be in the Gamescom Best Mobile Game category. But those that are, and those that love to needlessly hate and complain on social media, are making for some of the most entertaining content that I've seen in a while, and I'm loving browsing Twitter right now, seeing all this hate from so many different communities, all targeted towards one single game. Now, I will also state, despite a lot of people talking crap about Genshin every single day, I also think Genshin Impact is a fun game. I enjoy the vast majority of gacha games that I play. Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, Guardian Tales. I enjoy pretty much all of them. I don't hate any of them. I don't have the energy to. Moving on though, HoYo did announce they are working on a brand new game. They're working on, I think, 3 upcoming games right now. One of them is a Honkai-inspired MMORPG. Yeah, It's going to be a gacha MMO. So it's going to be Tower of Fantasy essentially with a Honkai's skin, but with the funding and the professional polish of a HoYo game, meaning this is probably going to be the biggest MMO release of the decade. Now, before I talk about anything else, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal. I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. The game we're here to talk about instead is Astaweave Heaven. They have officially registered not only its game icon, but its name. This was first covered earlier this month. The icon does seem to be a black and white red panda. The fact that they have the icon, the fact that they have the name now officially trademarked and registered in China means they are approaching a playable version. This is the Animal Crossing Stardew Valley inspired game that I covered, I think it was like a month or two ago. It's not, honestly, not a game that's really necessarily my style. I wasn't a big fan of Animal Crossing, I wasn't a big fan of Stardew Valley, but I was a very big fan of Harvest Moon and Rune Factory, so I mean, if it's like those kinds of games, then I'll probably enjoy it to an extent, but after seeing the gameplay, which HoYo have actually removed from everywhere they can online, I'm honestly not excited. It looks exactly like essentially Animal Crossing, and I didn't like how Animal Crossing looked or played, so I don't think this is going to be a gacha game that necessarily appeals to me. I will totally play it. I will definitely cover it because I mean, I just genuinely love gacha games these days. They're always doing new things, offering new experiences, and are just like generally fun to play. But I do not think that anyone I know really is going to necessarily enjoy playing it. I don't know the demographic that's targeting. I guess it's trying to target and cater to the Animal Crossing fans, because the majority of Animal Crossing fans, I think, probably don't play Genshin or Zenless or Honkai Star Rail. So this is probably tapping into a brand new audience that they don't already have, meaning that once they play Astaweave Heaven, they can then funnel those people into their other games, expanding their total pool of players exponentially. This is a brilliant idea, even if Astaweave Heaven ultimately ends up not performing up to their typical standards. And finally, there was an ad posted onto Twitter from WuWa Universe that shows Wuthering Waves has gotten a little bit degenerate. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a quick look at that because oh my God. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they use Chongli naturally, and then they use Yinlin. I wonder why. Oh, and then Baija, huh? I wonder why they opted for those three characters. It's probably because of their enormous personalities. It's definitely not. Yeah, they're not even trying to hide the reason for this, and I'm okay with that. You know what? I am perfectly fine with that. Those ads were hilarious. I wish I could make Chongli jiggle when I shook her. You know what? Maybe that'll be a feature. Maybe Kudo will add that in as a feature in the future. But I mean, hey, they're making their ads a little bit more degenerate. That is a-okay with me. Now, if none of this is of any interest to you, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be more up your alley.